Second ban from Aimee will be the Kennen, again aimed at impact. Elise and Varus will be banned away from the jungle champion pool. 3 jungle bans out from C9, or rather Varus, definitely not a jungler. 2 jungle bans coming out from them. We'll see if Aimee will follow suit.
Just some standard high priority jungler bans. The only other high priority jungler, I guess, is Lee Sin.
Even RekSai, I guess, as
well.
Oh yeah,
RekSai's there too, sorry.
I think regarding bans, you might see the RekSai, if they're really worried about Meteos when it gets to 60 minutes making the big play, then they could ban the Lee Sin instead, but early pressure advantage, also that.
Exact ban. So RekSai and Lee Sin, I think, are kind of tradable. You probably want to be on the RekSai side, though. Okay, Syndra pick. Yeah, I don't know. The high priority top laners left are like Rumble, Kennen, Jace. I think they're all pretty much tradable as well.
Yeah, Kennen taken off the table, so only 2 really
Oh
left
wait, sorry,
as well. Yeah,
Kennen's banned. Rumble, Jace. They might pick Rumble here, actually. It's a pretty good pair with the physical junglers that are left.
Looking towards that RekSai as well. Pretty high priority in the jungle category. Syndra, of course, another first pick up here from Cloud9. Again, if you have just joined us, use the hashtag #AskTheCasters to have your questions answered in-game from myself and our analysts here. Keep them top lane focused or anything, depending on how the game's going. And waiting on Aimee's first rotation.
Yeah, again, they're looking towards their bottom lane inside of Aimee. We won't see the top lane early rotated, which is kind of unusual. We have been seeing a lot of blind pick rumbles, especially if a Kennen has been taken off the board. It's one of the few lanes that always goes even with him. Usually you'd say like a physical damage dealer, because the Hex Drinker rush is a good way to combat any mages in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm really actually curious about what Impact will look to play here. It's probably like Poppy or Rumble, maybe Jace. Jace pairs well with Syndra, I think, if they want to run poke. But yeah, I guess they're willing to trade Lee Sin Rumble, or Lee Sin RekSai. They don't mind either side of that matchup. Or I guess they prioritize Syndra heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to pick jungle here, because Aimee already showed their jungle pick. So if they put higher, yeah, they can hide it one more rotation. I don't really know what other cheesy junglers there are, actually. Pretty sure it's like just Lee Sin left.
I don't know if Meteos would play the Hecarim or anything like that either.
Oh yeah, Hecarim. I guess Graves is there too,
yeah,
like stuff like that. But ideally, you want more CC, I think. Like the teams that ran more CC seem to be more successful. Like the Albus Nox game earlier today, they ran like four forms of hard CC.
The single target pick composition style.
Because it's the easiest way to get openings, I think, later on. It's just like pulling the trigger and stacking a bunch of CC.
And it's not committal as well, right? A lot of it in the Albus Nox Luna game, as an example,
yeah, it's
ranged,
like longer range,
so
yeah.
You don't have to follow things through. I guess what I may have at the moment is the opposite of that.
Yeah. So the Vladimir into Syndra is pretty standard, I think. Ekko into Rumble, that's interesting. I'm pretty sure Ekko actually loses that matchup, just straight 1v1. But I guess Trinity Ekko with a magic resist item may eventually be able to outsplit push Rumble. It's just early on you get permanently shoved in, so it's not that favorable.
Also knowing AmazingJ, he may just rush a Spectre's Cal.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what you have to do in Rumble lanes. But yeah, I don't know. I think Ekko post nerfs, like it's not that great. I guess his laning's pretty stable because he gets like a free TP to lane and he has range wave clear and everything, and he has an escape too. And like a stun slash, like his kit's just overall pretty stable for top lane. And with the Gnar and Kennen ban, like there's really not too many options left unless you want to play Poppy or something. So
would you say for the Ekko, more about his gameplay is going to be surviving that lane, much like another tank pick like Poppy, and then trying to make things happen in the mid game?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the perspective that he'll play from. It's like Rumble will pretty much always have push priority on the Ekko and just shove him in all early laning phase, and usually he'll have to trade some pots for CS early, just because Rumble's like a lane bully, especially versus melees, especially versus Ekko, I think, as well. And yeah, it's just he'll just be looking to survive and then try to make something happen with his TP or set up for ganks on the Rumble or something like that.
Olaf and Alistar will round out the picking phase for Cloud9, and then looking for the final one from Aimee as well. With that Rumble lock-in, will he try and do more in the laning phase, because he does have a more dominant matchup as a lane bully?
Yeah, I think he will, and the jungle matchup actually looks good too. I guess I completely overlooked Olaf, but I think Olaf's actually a pretty good pick into RekSai. Like people consider it a counter pick, and yeah, I think it's just better than Lee Sin. Like it offers more tools for just like running into the enemy's jungle early on. and you can provide a lot more support for your laners if you have a winning jungle matchup. So yeah, I like C9's comp actually. It's pretty well rounded. Amaze is fine too. I don't really like the Ekko, but I mean, he can still prove me wrong, I guess, if he really pops off this game.
More of a team player as well. He does get a lot of resources, but is able to translate that anywhere on Summoner's Rift with teleports, which is where he usually excels. So something that I guess we should continue to monitor throughout the game is how capable he is on the world stage of continuing his good teleports. I think it's actually the big highlighting feature of him.
Now we have the full compositions. What do you guys make of what the composition's objectives are and how the top laners fit into that?
So C9's is like, I don't know, Syndra's like a pretty well-rounded mid laner. She works pretty well in sieges and team fights and everything, and she can pick people off pretty easily. Their team fight's pretty strong. They have hard engage with Alistar, and yeah, I guess the majority of Imay's setup is just Jhin ulting to open or Ekko landing some really nice W bubble. I don't know what it's called on people.
Parallel convergence.
Parallel convergence on people. Yeah, it's just the hard CC versus hard CC for setup, and I guess yeah, like AmazingJ has to be the main initiator for Imay, I would say, minus anything that a Tahm Kench port could do or the Jhin W and R could do. So.
Yeah, I mean, the way I'm seeing this as well is if I was IMA, their engage isn't all that reliable. Maybe it's a flash RekSai knockup, but even then it's a bit risky. So I think the best case scenario for them is more skirmishes where they can utilize the mobility that is provided by the teleport, the RekSai, and even the Tahm Kench ultimate, and the range with which a Jhin can hold himself. So I'm looking at maybe team fights for objectives against skirmishes before objectives.
And we're on to the Rift. C9, Imay. Final game here of the Week 1 group stages, and our final cast as well on the player experience stream for Week 1. And we're taking a look at the top laners, AmazingJ and Impact. So we'll see if this top lane is a little more dynamic than the one we saw earlier, Zig. And there'll be a bit more action of the junglers going up there as well.
Yeah, actually, I really like watching Rumble just because he does so much damage, and like basically his ult's like the hardest part of his kit, I guess. It can really make or break a team fight if you land a good one. With Alistar and Syndra setup, it's actually easier than like say if you had like a Vladimir and Tahm Kench. Like it's better to have more hard CC and more AoE CC. It's easier to land your spell, so I think C9 has a lot of good team fighting tools for sure to make this game work.
Yeah, they're huge. Actually, now you mention it. I think like the Drake in particular, when you're looking at early game, would be something that Cloud9 should look towards. Depending on which the first Drake is and how important it might be to them, of course, determines which one they fight for. But having a Rumble ultimate, it's similar to, in my opinion anyway, like the Gangplanks that have been running around and things like that, where you can utilize choke points and effectively win fights. The major difference being that Rumble has to be there, opposed to actually just being Gangplank and pressing it and staying in lane.
Yeah, I think, yeah, they just have a lot of good setup, and the jungle matchup should also favor C9 early, so yeah, I think early neutral objectives should go in favor of C9, assuming lane phase is pretty stable. And yeah, the game goes even until then.
So both top lanes just helping out the junglers, heading back up to the top lane. And we'll see how the early phase of the laning phase goes, because you said earlier, Zig, that you feel like, at least for the first couple of levels, Impact will have the advantage.
Yeah, it's pretty easy for Rumble to just perma-shove the first two waves and then get the lane to bounce back. Especially, yeah, like, if he... Okay, I guess he's trying to fight him on every creep.
I was actually going to ask that as well. Is Ekko's best case scenario, you'll always start with Q to try and auto-push it, to try and at least like set the wave up to be in a decent spot so you hit 2?
Yeah.
And maybe have some power? You might miss some, but do you think that's worth it?
Yeah, ideally, the Ekko should try to match the push of the Rumble, but Rumble just pushes better. Like, it's harder, especially after Ekko Q nerfs, for the Ekko to actually match the shove of Rumble.
Yeah.
And if he pushes the first two waves fast enough, he should be able to crash it before the third comes, but it looks like he's staggering his push a little bit here.
And this is a potential freeze opportunity from AmazingJ. There's not going to be enough minions to hold anything like a freeze, and Impact will still pressure after the wards, but in terms of lane positioning, it does force a ward out of Impact because he's so forward now.
Yeah, he has to be a little cautious of a RekSai level 3 gang, because RekSai can just clear his top 3 camps and then come top, but if he does that, also he's sacking his entire bot side jungle, so usually it's like it's a risky move for junglers to do that. Oh, good trade by Impact.
So now that the wave is kind of pushing slower instead of just like hard pushing the first 2 waves.
Is he making this a cannon there?
Yeah, he actually stood on top of the cannon, pressured him out, and he did get Grasp of the Undying on impact, so you could see that he didn't hit it, and missed the second auto attack. So that was very clever from impact.
So usually after the 4th wave, it's the best. Like he should hit. Wait, yeah, he hits level 4 here. Having the wave bounce here is pretty good because then it makes the Ekko have to play further up in lane, assuming he doesn't push it anymore.
It won't fully bounce, but it'll be closer.
Yeah, but if the lane's in this spot, it should slow push away. Just because, yeah, as you can see, all the range minions are focusing the exact same creep there, the melee one.
Yeah.
And if it bounces, like if the lane resets and it's on whoever's side of the map it's on, whoever side of the river it's on, it'll be slow pushing away from. I think I got that right. But yeah, basically like whoever pushes into tower last will have the lane pulling to them. And that's the position you want to be in as Rumble so you can trade. Instead of like auto pushing the wave to tower all the time, if you get it pulling to you, then yeah, like the Ekko has to be scared to walk up to get some creeps.
And he's using all of his mana to do exactly that, so he won't be useful. And if there is a gank, his part will be very small in it.
Yeah, and so Impact has already amassed a little bit of a creep score lead just by playing the matchup like as it should be played. And AmazingJ's like he's actually diveable right now. Like he's completely out of pods.
Olaf's
it looks like he's calling, Olaf. And if he came, but the RekSai's here for the counter gank too, so it probably won't work. They'll just end up finding each other, it looks like.
But AmazingJ does need to recall because
and
he has no mana.
He pretty much has to burn TP for lane here, which that's good. It delays him more.
Gonna stick around for this next wave now.
They brought Alistar up.
The flash and the combo onto AmazingJ.
That was
Rest
super
in
clean
peace.
by Smoothie.
That was actually very impressive from Cloud9. Bringing 3 people up here is so unexpected.
Yeah.
This is almost like Master-esque as well. The early recall from the bottom lane, get boots and just disappear to the opposite side of the map, and no one would expect that. But what's cool is that was set up so long in advance from Impact. You could tell he was telling his team to come up and that it was diveable.
Yeah, it was a really good read by Cloud9 actually. Like bot lane both based on whatever buy they could get. Like Sneaky bought his tier and the enemy bot lane bought his Dirk, and yeah, I guess they just made some free time for the Alistar. Free kill on Ekko. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so well executed from Smoothie with a flash headbutt pulverize. Avoidless was absolutely nothing doing.
Wait, how does Impact end up tanking there? Well,
So
I guess it must have been a DFT proc on the RekSai or something.
Yeah, I believe so.
Because he should have been able to even stay for an extra wave, possibly. Because he just took 2 tower hits that literally chunked him to like death.
So from here on out, how does that impact the laners now? Impact didn't pick up the kill, but of course he got that big CS advantage now over AmazingJ, and he's playing from behind.
The Ekko just has to play super scared.
Is this the level 6 wave for Impact as well from the looks of it?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, he's 6
there
on
it
that
is.
cannon. But yeah, like the Ekko just has to play really scared. Ekko didn't even get an MR buy either. So it's just like the Rumble's in full control of this thing. Like he can trade however he wants. And the Ekko has to walk like way too far up to get creeps pretty much at this point. And yeah, Impact's being smart with his wave control. Like it's still pulling. So Ekko's just gonna get a bit farm starved. Like he's already down 20 CS too.
This is rough, yeah.
Talking about like how to set up ganks like that using your bottom lane support, clearly that was coming from Impact, but what did he know about the lane that he knew that he would be able to get them in position for that? Was it that AmazingJ was whittling down mana?
Yeah, that's part of it. I think it's also just like he burned all his corruptings too. So it's like he just, and then he just kept shoving the wave to tower and taking small trades on him. It just, I think at that point when the Ekko has no mana, he actually can't W himself under tower. And yeah, it's just really hard.
Yeah, I mean, the other cool thing as well, when you look at team composition and how Cloud9 can actually do that, it's more because they have the Alistar, they have the Olaf, they can just immediately go in, and it saves a lot of time where the Ekko can, even if he had mana, press the W, it still takes 3 seconds to hit, whereas they're instantly able to engage. So it's a good team composition to let them do exactly that, but definitely the foresight to say I've burnt all of his mana, he has no potions left, he's going to recall and teleport, and to stop him from teleporting means that Avoidless was potentially gone as well. They did well to get the dive before Avoidless got in though.
So AmazingJ just bought a null magic while his lane is completely frozen, so he just lost out on another like maybe 5-6 creeps of XP there. And yeah, his lane phase just looks really hard actually. Like, and he picked the Ekko into Rumble, so not looking too good for top side of the map at least for IMA.
700 gold differential between the top laners at 8 minutes. Is there anything that AmazingJ can do by himself to catch up in this lane, or is it literally just try and get all the scraps he can?
Yeah, this is why I don't really like Ekko, actually. I feel like he doesn't win any lanes, just straight up. Like, you have to use your range wave clear, your short 3-hit trade, and then your ult for lane to kind of like win a lane, or somehow like stun them and then take a short trade and then keep doing that over and over again. Versus Rumble, just in every matchup, he pretty much perma-shoves you in, and he has like slows and he's making his way back up.
Oh man, it's not being warded as well.
Ekko is sick, so he should actually be able to live through any kind of gank.
Yeah,
But
Alistar's is leaving.
still even being able to burn the ultimate is a big win.
So relevant topic to kind of what we're talking about here on Twitter. Isbrook says, what is Aimee trying to achieve with the Ekko pick? I know you guys were talking about him being used as primary engage in this matchup.
I think it's just like it's a comfort pick, sorry, for AmazingJ. I don't think it's necessarily like great in this situation or anything like that. Oh, I don't think he's gonna make it through his top right.
No.
But yeah, I think it's just AmazingJ. That's actually pretty disrespectful from Impact. Cause
Yeah, like,
like
right in front of him.
At least if he's in the fog, like the guy has to kind of, or AmazingJ will have to guess where to put his W. But yeah, I think it's just like a comfort thing though, because Ekko really hasn't seen play, I'm pretty sure, in any other games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Poppy is the new like go-to blind pick tank right now.
Yeah.
After the nerfs, it seems.
Much harder to punish.
So this is a gank setup. Impact still has flash. Impact usually plays these situations pretty well.
He has the
RekSai
ulti
might
to
flash
come to
for
it
him.
as well.
Yeah, he's just flash for flash. And then this guy's actually...
Oh man,
This is what Impact
to
does
the
best,
kill.
actually.
The
Oh.
double kill
Oh,
for Impact.
no.
So,
Don't
yeah,
do it to him, Impact.
Well, you said he plays these situations pretty well. Case in point,
They
the
just
double
super
kill.
overforce that, actually. Like, it's very clear he's going to live this almost no matter what. He holds his flash, like, because he's really tanky, and AmazingJ does no damage because he's a full tank Ekko. And then they just...
I feel you.
Just...
What an absolute disaster.
That's like, so you show your jungler, and then he outplays the situation, and then he picks up both of them. And then top lane's basically over. Like, yeah, he's got his cowl now, but I guess the one redeeming factor is AmazingJ saved his summoners, and he still has TP.
Yeah,
because he canceled
silver linings.
I mean,
Rumbles.
30 magic resistance, 20 armor penetration roughly, a little bit more, I think.
Yeah,
25.
I guess the items kind of cancel each other out, but
He's entirely able to smash AmazingJ now because he's got all of those items, and they are really expensive items to get for that Rumble that he's just been gifted.
He's pretty big. 4,000 gold at 11 minutes. Up until this point, up until this game, he had 3 solo kills. Just add another 2 to that tally.
yeah, those count as solo kills, right?
Yep.
Jeez.
2 1-on-1. Here's a lot of magic pen.
So up until very recently, I was always taking Thunderlords on Rumble, just because I was, like, every time I'm trying to get poke damage on tower, I would, like, if I stay too long with DFT, I'd, like, tank tower hits randomly, or I'd
Yeah.
like, jump the gun
Yeah.
on tanking the tower. But I'm pretty sure DFT does, like, a significantly more damage, especially versus tanks and people who stack MR, because you get the 7% magic pen from the offense or ferocity tree. And yeah, I think DFT just seems to be the right mastery from what everyone seems to be taking out worlds. And
Yeah.
usually the build they go just first item Leandries, which is also like a good tank busting thing. Like even, yeah, I guess mid is like a tank mage as well. Like both of their solos are going to be building Spear Visage early, it seems.
I guess for those wondering as well, Deathfire Touch does more damage in prolonged trades. So if you're able to constantly harass somebody with a champion like Rumble, that's why people tend to go for Deathfire Touch. That and the 7% magic pen that you mentioned.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, the damage over time stuff, it feels really good on too, because it just adds like another number to it, or to your trade.
So Impact there looking for a roam in the mid lane. He pushed out the wave. Was that just because he felt he had time and he had a massive advantage over the
I think-
opposing player?
Yeah, I think he only missed one melee creep maybe for that roam, and usually if you have free time, like, well, the jungler's not playing on his side of the map too, so it's a bit risky, I guess, to go for a roam, but because he knows, like, he literally 1v2 the jungle in top last time they decided to fight him, he pretty much has free reign to do whatever he wants. Right now he's pulling the lane though, because Olaf is very clearly on the bottom side, and he's just like, he can't play too aggressively, I guess. But yeah, it's like if you push the wave in, which Rumble does very easily, you can just run to mid and see if there's anything to do. versus Vlad with magic resist, it's actually nearly impossible to get like a positive result from going mid. But like if the jungler is playing on this side and red buff spawning or something, he'll usually be first to the fight just because he's like demolishing.
Maybe you find the Raptors or something as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, he knows he has a lot of free time, so he's like, and he knows that the enemy or that his team's playing on bot side, so he's just like, he's just doing things like
whatever he can right now.
Yeah, Scuttle's a good thing to do. At this point in time, I'd usually take my jungler's top side too. But it looks like, yeah, Imay's making a rotation to put everyone bot top side, so if C9 reads this right, they basically just trade sides of the map and Rumble can ult the wave, which is something, okay, he doesn't even have to.
All backing away, yeah.
Yeah.
We have one more question from Twitter. Gav Doogie Fresh says, how come Rumbles aren't building Protobelt first?
I don't understand that either, actually. I love that item. Like, I straight up always buy that first in solo queue, but I'm pretty sure it's because if you're low econ and competitive, and like say you fall behind and you have a Proto Belt, it feels way worse than falling behind and having a Leandries, because Leandries will give you way more teamfight damage, and Proto Belt's kind of like just cheesy, and usually top laners build like first item resist to kind of stabilize the matchup, so if it was like a physical matchup like a Rumble versus a Kled or a Rumble versus a Jace or some like, or like even versus Kennen, all of them will build like either a Hex Drinker or like an Abyssal early on just to make sure that they can't get one shot by the Rumble. So usually it's better to have Leandries versus those type of resist items just because it does like percent damage and it's like, it just does more damage versus when compared with a Proto Belt. But yeah, I mean, if you're playing like carry versus carry and then neither of the carries are building any resist and they just want to kill each other, I would much prefer to have a Proto Belt than a
one cancelled.
Instant
the
cancel.
Didn't.
I think that was
Impact's in.
okay.
He's level 11, so if he actually hits an equalizer, people die.
He just hit Spike as well with Leandries. Yeah. Oh man, the damage onto Road.
Oh, he knows he has no flash. But yeah, usually landing.
Oh, this is
so
disgusting.
much work.
No, Impact.
Didn't even over.
What a game to be following Impact. 4-1
Jhin had
on 1.
Flash? Come on, Jhin.
Leandries, Sork Boots, level 11.
So the nicest Rumble combo is basically if you land E's and then you put your R down, the guy will be stuck in your R for a longer time because the E's stack, like the slow stacks. Yeah, so if you land 2 E's and then put your ult down, the guy's going to be slowed forever pretty much.
You get
like
to
he's
see
gonna,
at least one here.
Like he literally does
so slowly.
Oh, he does 1.5%, like 1.5 times his health bar through exhaust as well. And then this guy doesn't flash for whatever reason. I guess he thought he was dead.
He wanted to try and trade, actually. I think the slap that came out of the Rumble was enough to get the kill, but if he got trapped under the turret, there was a chance that he could have just flashed afterwards.
Yeah, I guess the Olaf was kind of close behind too, and the Olaf ghosted, so it's like, it's probably better not to waste the summoner. Yeah. But Impact's actually just putting on a clinic. This is way more nice, or way nicer to watch than the Smeb Poppy show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, Smeb's great, Poppy's great, but this is awesome.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, but Smeb, I guess, also gets his Rumble and Kennen banned.
Yeah, that did happen.
Because that was nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They banned this guy's Gnar and Kennen, I guess.
Yep.
Or Impacts.
Oh, should have banned the Rumble too, apparently.
So he has Flash and Heal.
Cheese it.
Impact has no sums. But
You just need one rocket to connect.
Well, here's Road.
Kill 1v2 if the ult's up, and it's almost there.
5 seconds.
He's buying time, right?
He's taking too much damage, I think.
Yeah, he's probably dead, actually. He still has W, right?
Oh, that's so much damage, though.
Man, if his ultimate had been up, that was a 1v2. Just straight up.
Two more solo
kills. The best part
kills,
is, like,
yeah.
Well, in all these plays, like, Meteos is literally nowhere near, like, Impact. Like, it's like if he had any support, but he was, I guess Impact's just, like, really confident. He's just trying to make the solo play again. He's like, I killed people 4 times. I could probably kill this Jhin too. And
yeah, for what it's worth, you can see the wards that I may have got in this area. He just walked through the greediest path possible to try and catch Jinjao.
Yeah, it was pretty forecasted, so it's whatever. No love lost. Just 1 kill. No objectives or anything. And he burned Tahm Kench Flash too, so
Worth.
It would be nicer if he had some backup, though. It feels like he's literally a one-man army, just like trying to win the game by himself.
He's drawing a lot of attention, though, to wherever he is.
Yeah,
there wasn't really any objective for them to take, but he was drawing attention.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of value in just pulling enemy jungler and then still living, like him getting ganked and then getting 2 kills, like killing both top and jungler, because it just creates so much more space for everyone else on the map to do stuff. Like Meteos can just power farm if he really wants to, and like take the other guy's blue buff while the RekSai is killing Impact top. So yeah, I think he's playing a pretty good game so far.
For what it's worth, AmazingJ's actually closed the CS lead by quite a large amount for all of this time Impact has spent running around trying to make big plays. That's going to be really handy for AmazingJ if they can hold on for a little bit longer. And the problem here for Cloud9 is exactly what you've said. It feels like Impact is a one-man army. Jensen is 0-0-0. They don't really have the biggest Ezreal. It's still comparable to Jinjao. And Meteos hasn't really been doing anything. They're big, but they need Impact there. Whereas like if AmazingJ can continue to farm, stack resistances, and keep him in a lane, then there is an opportunity for him.
Yeah, so AmazingJ pushed it, or Impact pushed his lane in and then came mid, forced AmazingJ to come mid. And so usually if you're the first mover, your wave will actually bounce to you. And so in Impact's case, he pushed his wave in and then came down, and then Impact's like, oh, I noticed the Rumble's going down, I should go down too. Or sorry, yeah, the Ekko noticed that the Rumble's going down. So if he stays here forever, pretty much there'll just be a slow pushing wave accumulating for Impact to collect when he goes back top. So yeah, usually whoever has push advantage gets to be the first mover and will accumulate a small farm lead from that.
Yeah, Impact now grouping it with the team. Looks like we're going to have a fight here as well as the equalizer.
Mostly zoning.
They're still going to get potential kills here though.
Still on flash, okay.
Yeah, AmazingJ jumping back in.
Ooh.
Ooh, good flash.
This is closer than it should have been, I think.
Yeah. I think Impact's ult could have been a bit better. Like maybe he could have just ulted the Rumble or the Jhin instantly or something. But yeah, I think both teams just played it pretty well. I think, yeah, IM seemed to burn more flashes than C9. So
Yeah.
I don't know, just a close fight overall.
You'd say next fight advantage, right? Because
Yeah.
within 5 minutes they should win.
Well, I guess
one.
maybe Impact was second to move because yeah, like his wave's in a bad spot right now. Sometimes it's RNG too, but okay, yeah. Rumble comes down. Yeah, it's just really close. Like if things went a little bit differently, more people would die, I feel like. But
More people. I don't think there were any kills actually in this fight at all. It
Yeah.
was just everyone juggling damage, yeah.
I guess some people would die would be the correct. Yeah, like just nobody died.
Yeah.
So. And it looked like it was an all-out brawl, so it's just weird to see.
Also on the topic of you saying, you know, Impact being like the one-man army, after that fight, Impact has the most damage in the game. I don't think that's too surprising, considering how he's doing. About 9k. Second highest is actually sneaking on 8. It looks like we're going to have another fight here with him and AmazingJ. AmazingJ is just taking so much damage from everything that Impact's doing.
Impact's still being very cautious to take any trade because he knows he's flashless, and Meteos is again on the other side of the map, even though Impact's winning his lane. So yeah, they're just trading sides right now. I don't really understand why he doesn't get more support. It feels like they're literally putting him on an island and just being like, yeah, you do you.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're highlighting the top lane for Cloud9 as well. It is a top lane for both of them, but it feels like we're just talking about Impact because he's so fed, but he's never had anybody near him.
Yeah.
Yet he is still so fed.
It's like, yeah, he got the Smoothie gank early, and then
He was just
beating on this
ulting the
guy.
wave, and AmazingJ takes it to the face.
Yeah, but the ulting the wave for a dragon trade is like a pretty standard thing. You
Yeah.
can, like, if you're leaving your top laner out to dry and he has a wave clear spell, usually it's you just spend it on the wave and it buys you another 30 seconds basically.
One of the other cool things though about the Ekko into anything matchup is that you can ult back if it comes to it to get back to lane so that there's no real tempo loss or minions actually missing. So whilst he's been having a pretty bad time against Impact, the real end goal was that he got that first recall off, which again is why it was genius by Smoothie and Meteos to be in the area. Because once AmazingJ and Ekko hits level 6, you can fight them, get low but not actually die as much as you possibly can, then just ult back to lane and try and reset all over again. Force a teleport from them ideally, and then you have an advantage.
Yeah, that's actually pretty much the only way Ekko wins lanes ever. It's like you just use your ult for lane, or if the other guy takes a bad trade, because like if or in unfavorable matchups, if both of the champions use their spells, like ideally whatever, then Rumble just like really beats on Ekko. And so he went second item Void Staff too, which is a good adaptation I like because the solo laners are both like spamming magic resist items, and yeah, they have 2 magic damage solos. So now he can pretty much, yeah, like those E's, 2 E's chunk that guy to 2/3, even though he has like sustain too.
I feel like it's hurting me through the screen. Like,
Yeah,
that's how much
that's
he's
what-
doing. I'm cringing.
Ooh,
As soon as
gank
Impact
squad.
leaves, everyone else is going to be top lane to kill AmazingJ. Just can't catch a break.
They don't like playing on the same side as Impact, I guess. That's
No.
just like the way that the team operates. Okay, Okay, so Tahm Kench port comes in. Ekko actually burned TP mid. I didn't see the fight, but it was a little while ago. He burned it and canceled, so pretty much all of AmazingJ's TPs, like we were mentioning it before, how he's like, he makes good use of them. All of them were like, I'm TPing, and then he just canceled. So.
They haven't been very good this game.
Yeah, he just, it's an indecisive thing. For, like, in competitive, the way I look at it is like top laners kind of have to take ownership of their own TPs for the most part. Of course, you can ask your team to do certain things for you, like set up wards and stuff, but in the end, it's ultimately like, you're making the decision, I can flank here, I can't flank here, like, this is like I have all these wards to choose where to TP from. Sometimes the decision's like really obvious if you're like contesting Baron or something and you have like a lot of wards set up. It's a pretty like easy choice to make, but a lot of the time it's like as a top laner you should be surveying the map and like trying to figure out like what the best thing you can do for your team is.
So out of curiosity, most top laners that I've spoken to say the communication is like, we want you to TP here, and you say yes or no is the basis of it. So it really is ultimately your decision as to whether you do or not.
Yeah, like you can ultimately you're responsible for getting yourself ahead and everything and keeping your leads and stuff. It's especially important on carry top laners. And so yeah, like if the TP to a lane screws you over, or if it's like an unsalvageable situation, it's your responsibility to kind of read it as quickly as you can and be like, yeah, I'm not TPing, screw that.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna lose like 4 waves here if I TP or something like that, and then you know you make up your own mind and just try. Like it's especially important on carry top laners because it's really punishing to fall behind. It's like versus a tank, if this Rumble was behind, he would never be able to get any split push priority, and in teamfight he'd also be a little less useful too if he didn't hit his item spikes. But because the Rumble's really ahead here, it's like the Ekko kind of feels like that, except for the fact that the Ekko got like a lot of jungle help, it seemed like. Okay, good trade by AmazingJ, but
he's starting to be a little bit tankier at the very least, and has started to get a semblance of combat items with the Jhin there.
Yeah, it's pretty much up to the Ekko to land his parallel convergence and like just be a meat shield for as long as he can until he uses his wind back in time thing.
Yeah, chrono break.
Yeah, chrono break. It's
fine. You're a player. You refer to things as like QER, right? Like we as play-by-plays, we have to know the skill names.
Yeah, but it's like I think just the Rumble should be more useful in team fight, just because he can really affect the backline. And yeah, if he just puts an R on Jhin, 2 TPs.
That was
some fight.
A lot faster by AmazingJ.
No fight.
No fight. Yeah. Nope.
So in this case, if you see one guy TP and the other guy doesn't TP, you can actually make a big lead out of it, because if Impact just chose not to TP and he like C9 communicated well that they couldn't actually start, like IMA couldn't start a fight on them, he could have just stayed bottom, applied pressure, and then when Ekko comes back, he'll have TP advantage, and then the other side of the map is 4v5. So ideally, it's like a patience game too, but like if you read the situation really well and you're like, okay, the Ekko just wasted his TP, like they're not fighting, he used it mid, then you can just build a lead off that too, or take an advantage, I guess. Yeah.
Might be a fight opening up there in the mid lane. Maybe not. No, just gonna walk away. How do you deal with Impact now? Will it get to a point where AmazingJ can duel him, or is it like we need everyone to kill him?
I think AmazingJ already got his core magic resist item, so he's probably going like the Frozen Fist, Iceborne Gauntlet item, and I guess Sunfire next, it looks like. So I don't think he'll get any tankier towards Impact, but Impact is probably going to get a Zanya's next, it looks like. And
you'd think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Ekko's doing a pretty good job of holding his own, but circumstantially, I think Impact has received more pressure besides for that level 3 support roam. So yeah, I guess Impact just, the Ekko just kind of looks to clear the wave, and just he can take any trade he wants, because once he gets his 3-hit thing, he just runs away really fast. But it's just like it's like an annoying type of trade, not like a I'm killing you type of trade.
You hit in a single burst and you run away screaming and hope that there isn't a second one within the next 2 seconds.
Yeah, because like if the Rumble lands his short trade on the Ekko's in way more pain.
Neither have teleport.
Yeah, and the Ekko made it first, which is pretty good.
And parallel convergence, and nice storms for AmazingJ, but
this guy is super dead actually.
Oh, if he hit the 3-stack, he was definitely out.
Oh, he's alive.
Yeah, well,
burned a flash.
Amazing.
Oh,
well,
Syndra landed the stun
into the Rumble.
I guess the point stands. He was very close to getting the kill on Smoothie. If he got the 3 stacks on the passive and the move speed, he was probably out.
1 HP on that Jhin.
Saved out by Road as well.
This is pretty scrappy actually. Everyone's just running around.
Yeah, I don't know if
the carries past the mid tower. Just
gonna go back in. All right, they're gonna back away now.
C9 are devolving to Aime's style of game.
Yeah.
This is not what you want to do because you meet them in the middle. Even if you have a 5k advantage, you're leaving yourself open to death.
Yeah, taking random fights generally isn't beneficial unless like your team is good at that, I guess. And yeah, this fight just seems super random. Like they weren't really fighting over anything. It's like, hey, they're in their jungle. You want to go fight them? And then they kind of just fought.
Good communication here as well between Cloud9 to ensure the equalizer was with the stun. Otherwise, he wouldn't have died.
Roll was really good there. Syndra stun was really good there too. It just, yeah, I think, so C9 carries all have their flashes up, but Aime's carries all don't. Tahm Kench flash kind of counts as a carry flash though, if it comes like to a team fighting situation. AmazingJ got his Iceborne Gauntlet, so yeah, I think he can kind of kite out Rumble if he lands his 3 thing, but Rumble should really just beat on him actually. Like if Rumble lands his short trade like EE, Q overheat with W, shield on 2, like if he uses all 3 of his spells at the 50 heat marker, then he gets like the bonus for all of them, and he'll overheat at the same time. So he lands both E's and then gets a bunch of autos off. Like it's like there's pretty much no way that AmazingJ just wins the trade actually. But I guess that situation won't happen too often because neither of them have TP and the team's just grouping.
It's actually a good point though. Even in lane, you have to be a bit vigilant of the 3 stack because they are going in.
Well, Rumble ultimate onto AmazingJ. Good
on
lance of stun though. It's a Smoothie, but Impact's just kind of running in circles. He overheated. He's caught out, but Meteos is in front of him now as well. So just another kill onto Avoidless. How do you feel about that fight from Impact?
He did well. Zanya's had a good time because he was like you can frontline, you can afford to frontline his Rumble.
Oh, red buff.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Ooh.
Oh, he's got a Hex Drinker.
Jeez.
That was
so
scary like
scrappy,
5
actually.
times for Jinjao.
Yeah.
Yeah, last fight he lived 1 HP with
Oh
this.
god,
hello.
AmazingJ.
Alright, I guess that's another TP for the books. This one not cancelled, so I guess. But equally as bad as the other ones that he cancelled, I guess, because he just instantly died.
Yeah, why would he do that?
I guess they
we'll
were
get
looking
another
to
look at it.
start again on them. They didn't seem to be that low. So yeah, Impact is pretty good here. Yeah, his QW both were from his 50, or like past 50 heat, so they're at like maximum effect. And yeah, he just hits Zanya's and flashes out because he knows he's in tower range. He doesn't get hit by the parallel convergence by Ekko, which is really good. But I think the re-engage was actually just super overforced. I don't know what they were. They thought they could kill this guy, I guess.
Yeah. They also used
They just had
AmazingJ's
cool.
ultimate far too early in the fight, so he comes back with the teleport to try and do something like a hero level play. And that's honestly just a mistake because you don't even have the ulti to go back to base if you mess up.
Yeah. Impact had no flash and Zanya there, so he actually went too far forward. And yeah, he sees everyone's low, but they still have cooldowns. So they literally
just
just
right on top of him.
So
they
what are
like
you doing?
perma CC him.
Oh, he did.
No spells allowed. Yeah, he didn't have all either.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just poor decision making, I guess, from the Ekko.
He
Nerves.
saw the montage and he went for it.
It's like 4 people really low, but it's not like he's like AP Ekko or
It
anything.
sounded like an 80s sitcom laugh.
I know, yeah. That's what I really like about having the crowd in my ears. It's like I feel like people appreciated my jokes. They can't hear me.
It was a pink ward, to be fair. So just to put you down a little bit more.
So the build that Impact has too is pretty much the most efficient 3-item power spike you can get. Minus, like, if you're against an AP, sometimes it's better to get an Abyssal, like if the lane seems a little less stable. Like, especially if you're, like, if Elise is the enemy jungler, Vlad's the mid, and then they have, like, Kennen or Ekko top, then you'd want an Abyssal. But in this case, it's pretty much, he's, like, most effective for team fights right now. Like, level 16, he's hitting all his power spikes.
He has teleport as well at the moment. In
Yeah.
fact, AmazingJ does not, so Cloud9 have a big advantage just using him as a pivot point. So Impact's able to be this manly.
Yeah, he can play it. When you have TP advantage, you pretty much want to play away from your team and just let your team, like, apply pressure in your 1 versus 1, and then you're able to join the team whenever you need to because you have TP. But it looks like Cloud9 just seems to be grouping on Impact. Impact overheated on E, so we can't use R just yet.
Rest in peace,
But
RekSai.
he's going to use it now. Oh,
What?
let's see it.
You
is it?
see the ultimate.
Oh, and it lands
completely
on
missed.
the pooled Vladimir. Unlucky.
And now he's stuck with the Zonias.
Hey, he's super dead.
Yeah.
He played that fight pretty bad, actually.
Could he
Oh,
ult it earlier?
oh,
Oh, never mind,
no.
Smoothie.
Don't do it to him. That's Ezreal on cleanup duty?
I think it's sneaky highlight time.
Sneaky's about to, nope.
No.
Oh, if that Q landed though.
Missed the highlight
Close to no
material.
Graves.
So that's 2 for 2. They got the objective win, but actually C9 burned more summoners there, I think.
All right, so where should have Impact ulted here?
Ideally, he shouldn't overheat on the E here, but he just didn't like manage to see it properly. That happens. Like I do it a lot too, and I have a lot of games on Rumble. But like he should just be more patient, I think. Like, or he should wait for like because Smoothie gets a disgusting combo off. I mean, they're only grouped because Impact died, but like Smoothie flashes this wall, gets a WQ.
This is huge.
Or he doesn't flash the wall. Oh,
He flash poles all of them
he
up.
W flash pulls. Yeah, so like ideally if Impact lives longer, I mean, who's to say that Aimee would be in the same position if Impact was alive, but ideally Impact like plays more in the back, saves his Zanyas for something more productive, and then yeah, like follows up his R or his equalizer with the Heba Pulverize combo.
Yeah.
Or with a Syndra Stun or something. Because yeah, like he has hard CC to set him up. It's just he has to like be more patient, I guess.
Talking about overheat mechanics as well, often I see Impact like overheating, then going into Zhonya's to buy time. When is like the optimal time to overheat in a team fight?
Pretty much you want to get your ult down earlier, or like because you can't cast your ult when you're overheated. So pretty much any time you're like able to melee attack someone, you want to overheat. Usually you try to keep your heat around 50. So what he does is, or yeah, what most good Rumbles I guess would do is they keep their heat around 50, and then you just keep Wing around, like when it hits 50. Okay, he missed it by a bit there, but because that gives you the maximum effect on the shield and the move speed. And then in team fight, you just want to W, then E, then Q, then E again, and on your first E you'll overheat, but you can cast the second E because you cast the first E in the combo.
Yeah.
So you just overheat with an extra E. I like having Protobell as well because it really makes it easy to land the E's, and it's just hilarious. Like it does so much damage. It's an extra ratio as well. I think it's really good.
So the combos press every button, but start with E.
Yeah. Well, that's if you
one.
overheat without ult, and then if you want to use your ult as well, you kind of have to cast it somewhere in there, basically. Like,
yeah.
it's like you get a feel for it too once you play it. Like you can always afford to cast your first E, or to overheat on an E because, or sorry, you have to cast your first E before you overheat, and then you can overheat like with Q or W, and then you can cast your second one after you've overheated, and that's like the optimal combo, I guess. Because then it gives everything the plus 50% effect or whatever it is. And yeah, you just can't cast your ult when you overheat too. So yeah, that's what plagued him in the bottom fight. Yeah.
Just for a record, I think you explained that very well. I think it's very difficult to describe Rumble mechanics. There's like so much going on with his kit.
Yeah, I actually like super one-trick Rumble like for the past like 2 months. Like in all my relegation matches, I played Rumble for Gangplank, and I was like, I felt really comfortable on the champions just because that was like literally all I played in like top, mid, jungle, middle, anything. Like just put me on Rumble, I'm okay. So Impact does have TP, but they're gonna try to make this Baron pop lane work. It seems like they can actually just get hits on the tower because they got pretty chunked. Like they'll probably get a next wave for sure. Aimee can't even kill the cannon. Yeah, like it's looking pretty grim. As long as C9 starts a fight pretty well, like the inhib already looks free, but
Cannon's doing work, dude.
yeah, they're not even hitting it. Crazy.
They're trying. There was a time winder and a praise seeker.
That means they're just done.
Yeah, inhib's super dead. So C9's side waves are pretty bad. They can kind of meet that bot wave in another little while, but ideally what they should do is send Impact to one wave and all of them go to the other one.
You'd say 4 bot, 1 top, because Impact has the teleport and it's the bigger wave that needs to be set up. But at this stage,
I guess they're just sacking it. They don't want them to. They don't. Oh, they Ezreal ulted for the top lane. That's not bad. That should probably get it pushing eventually, just because it's on their side. I kind of have to.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely push back after potentially the next wave.
There's 2 cannons. It looks okay, but it's like. Yeah, I mean, they just want to make the most out of the Baron power play, I guess. Staying grouped is good because the Smoothie had flash? Yeah, Smoothie has flash, so they can pretty much start whenever they want.
What's AmazingJ's job here? Because it kind of turned into the Impact stream for a while, just because of how the game's been going. But what's he trying to do here? I see him like step up, try and get
just
stun.
land his W and soak as much damage as he can before he Rs. Like, he's really not a damage threat because he go kind of full tank Ekko. It's like, he does do % damage. Oh, he's just...
So he's gone.
He's literally just trying
out.
to buy time. Like, that's his role in team fights. And so he R'd, E, flashed the opposite direction, and now he's Yeah, game boom, I guess.
Game boom. Yeah, there was very little that like AmazingJ really could do in this game. Like he was clearing waves, and that was kind of it really. Last team fight here for Cloud9. They are kind of getting repelled here though.
I feel like it felt like AmazingJ or Aimee really didn't do that much proactively, except for that one gank that failed on Impact. But I guess I didn't really see that much else of the game. I don't know. Impact played pretty well though. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy we got to follow him.
Yeah, he definitely outperformed AmazingJ in their 1v1. And, like, he made the most of not getting many resources and then getting camped, like getting a kill 2-1 and everything. So.
Funny thing is, if you just join this game and look at the scoreboard, and it's like 4, 4, and 5, it seems like an awful scoreline. Pretty much no one on Cloud9 even died. They just left him on an island. It was like, you got ahead, great. We're just going to do everything else on the opposite side of the map, and just sacked him for most of the game, and he still did amazingly.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a really good role player for his team. It looks like they don't like investing many resources in him, aside from that really good level 3 gank that the Alistar pulled off. He did his job, like, overperformed actually. Yeah, like he lived that gank and did more. So
got a double kill this time. Actually died himself is the only unfortunate thing. He was really close to living, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, that second time as well, almost got the double. Had the ultimate in time as well.
Yeah. It's crazy to consider how much the early game snowball that he got affects the rest of the map, trying to now like keep him down, or Cloud9 this time around they didn't, but trying to keep him up and put him on a pedestal. That was a hard carry from like a level 1 scenario where he found an advantage in the wave manipulation alone.
It just seemed like Impact just performed as people expected Impact to perform, I guess. I don't know if Aimee is like a weaker team or anything like that, but it's just like it's just Impact like putting on his standard playoffs performance where he like just draws a lot of attention and makes the 1v2 work in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rusty, do you think there was anything that that Aimee could have done to try and swing that matchup? Because it seemed like it went downhill pretty fast as he didn't get the recall off.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done a couple of small details. I think firstly, not picking the Ekko into that matchup is a pretty big one. But aside from that, he played the lane, I'm going to say, a little bit too cautiously. There's moments where you have to actually just man up and make a trade, or you're just going to slowly lose, or you need to bring Avoidless up and communicate better. The end result is that one small thing against the Rumble lane means the whole thing's basically thrown out the window. But yeah, I think he should have just manned up and shown some more Chinese aggression, because that's not standard AmazingJ at all.
What else could he have gone there, in terms of a different champion pick?
I think you had a couple of champions you mentioned earlier. The Poppy's the better version, perhaps, of the Ekko.
Yeah, I think Jace was open as well, but yeah, for stable tanks, like Poppy utility in team fights is way more than Ekko. It's like it's more than just soaking damage. It's actually like blocking any dash, and then you can knock like literally 5 people out of a team fight if you. Well, I mean that's not great, but. Yeah, like for securing objectives and stuff, it's really
better.
Yeah.
Well, that will draw a close to that one. So that does it for us here on the Player Experience stream. We'll be bringing you more fresh alternative looks next week on the 2016 Awards group stage as that progresses, when the tournament picks up again on Thursday, and that'll be next week. However, from myself, Rusty, Zig, and our whole production team and staff, thank you for joining us, and we will send you back over to the main stream now for an interview with